Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Swipe Up, the 123rd episode of the show where I share some of my favorite posts from Instagram. It's kind of turning into a bit of a news. Like, if I were to do a news show, this is kind of it. But anyway, let's get it started, shall we? Starting off with some news. Coachella and Stagecoach, which are two festivals that take place out here in the valley, the Coachella Valley, in which I live, in the Indio Polo grounds. Kind of the two big kind of last hurrahs before summer starts. They've been canceled again. They did not take place last year. They tried to push them back to like October, but of course, as we know, with the kind of the resulting effect of the complete lack of leadership federally from the former criminal president that we had, and then also the current governor of California, who goes back and forth, right? Like he tries to do the right thing and shut things down, but then when people whine and complain about it, he opens things back up. So he's not really either open everything up and let people die, or just shut things down and stop listening to the people that don't believe in the shit. And which apparently the people that don't believe in the virus were able to shut down I forget where, the Staples Center they were doing vaccines or testing, and the protesters actually shut it down, which is amazing. It's amazing because now they're just going to do it all the time. But anyway, Coachella and Stagecoach are no longer going to be this. We'll see if they're around next year. I don't think. I mean, last year they tried to postpone it till the fall, and I don't think they're gonna. I doubt we're gonna be anywhere ready for music festivals in the fall. So anyway, they've been canceled again. Now moving on to, I talked about it last week, the new season of Blown Away on Netflix, the art competition show featuring glass artists, glass blowers and sculptors. Is the new season, and one of my former teachers, I guess you could say, I only took a few classes with him, teaching me glass torching. I really only made beads. Like, I was in the very, very early stages of just melting glass onto a metal rod, making little glass beads. It's all I really was able to do. My hands, very, very shaky hands. I mean, especially that was back in my late 20s, I would say, and drinking and coffee, a little bit of the shakes from drinking the previous night, and then also a ton of caffeine probably didn't help the steadiness of my hands. But my teacher, Mike Shelbo, who is also a teacher in the San Diego, Southern California area, was one of the contestants, and I actually did watch the show last week. I was hoping that he won. Spoilers, he didn't win, but he did well. And he was kind of the black sheep of the crew because he is more of a pure sculptor, where the other people, they do more traditional stuff, and Mike Shelbo is kind of has his own way of dealing with glass. And I love the show. I really enjoy art competition shows in general. It's very interesting to see people's creativity kind of getting pushed to the limits. And it was cool to see him on the show. He did well. I think it's done well for his to elevate his name. And probably he's doing well selling stuff now. But yeah, it was a cool thing to see somebody try to teach you how to do a thing, doing his own thing on TV. So that was cool. So check that out. I highly recommend. It's a fun show. I think season 1 of Blown Away had a little bit it was different. It seemed like the competitions were changed a little bit more. Seemed like there was a little bit more sculpting in this one than the last one. But I'd have to go back and rewatch season 1. But I highly recommend checking it out and follow Mike Shelbo on Instagram. He's always putting up like giveaways and stuff. He knows what he's doing. I enjoy his stuff. So moving on once again to a meme, a picture. For those that are listening, it's just a kind of a sci-fi picture of, peace and tranquility and just, all kinds of just very peaceful, very clean, very, very modern kind of a cityscape with a guy walking his dog. And the caption says, "Society since Trump's been off Twitter." And I have to say, that's so true. So true in many ways. I mean, even though he's still not president anymore, once he was banned from Twitter and all other social media, not having to listen or see or be bombarded with his thoughts and ideas in all of my feeds has been a breath of fresh air. And it does feel like now that like Biden is reversing all of the racist and short-sighted things that Trump did, it does feel like we're getting back on track. All the conservative news media has gone back to their age-old blame the brown people coming in caravans. They're crying about minimum wage, which I'm going to talk about in the next post. Despite billionaires making like more billionaires being made during this pandemic than ever. But yeah, just it's a picture matched with a statement that I feel is very, very relevant and very prescient, I should say. All right, so moving on now to this one, Bernie Sanders, who we all know and love. Bernie Sanders is, I guess I'd call myself a Bernie bro. I'm not that bro-y, but I have bro tendencies. But he's posting on to raise minimum wage to $15, which it should be $25 if we were to maintain the minimum wage to stay on track with the cost of living. I forget where I read, but $25 is where minimum wage should be at. But we're going from like $7.50 to $15, which is most Americans support it. 67% of Americans support the increase. I mean, it would help so many people out, and it would not like everybody that like this like conservative notion that raising minimum wage is going to make everything cost more. Like, no, it's going to cut out of the CEO's bonuses. Like the amount of money that executives and CEOs make from companies it can more than cover paying the actual workers that make them their money. It is so and it's insane that people like are fighting to not let people make a living wage. It's like they don't want them to be able to afford to live in a home, like to rent a shitty home and to eat shitty food. Like they don't even want you to have that ability, let alone not even having health care. But yeah, it's so interesting now that everything, whatever. So moving on now, obviously I'm pro very pro raising the minimum wage as much as possible, and taxing the rich as much as possible, and making sure the criminals and the terrorists are held accountable for their actions and sent to prison like other criminals are in this country for doing far less. All right, let's move on now to some crazy weather that's been happening in the valley. It's this time of year, we're surrounded by mountains, and they get topped with snow. So you look around in every direction, and the mountain tops are covered in snow. But we've been getting some crazy weather, some hail, some kind of snow. The valley's version of snow. It doesn't really stick around, but you can see it falling. You can see it melting, which for people out here is insane. Like it drizzles out here and people call it pouring. It's pouring rain. I can walk outside and stand outside for a minute and I'm still not drenched, but it's pouring rain. Kind of ridiculous. After living in Denver for a couple years, you really see, I mean, just living in Denver for a day, you can kind of see all the different varieties of weather that Denver can get. But yeah, it's adorable to see people in Southern California uh, be amazed by just like the tiniest like hail that falls from the sky, or like, kind of clumpy snowflakes. But it is cool. It is kind of crazy. I have a feeling summer is going to be the opposite end of that crazy, where during the winter we're getting like drizzles of snow. I have a feeling summer is going to be brutal. I'm predicting we're going to hit 130 degrees at least once this summer. That's my prediction, and I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, just crazy times, crazy weather. First video is taken in Cathedral City, the second one in Palm Springs. But yeah, it's really not that cold. I don't have a heater in the space that I live. I have a little. I have some blankets on my bed, and I have an electric blanket that I'll use if it does get really cold. But it's not cold enough to where I need a heater, But it's interesting times. Let's move on now to, last but not least, this amazing hyperreal statue that you can see if you go to the Palm Springs Museum. They've been there since I was a kid. I remember going to the museum when I was a kid, and those statues are there. Just kind of your very ordinary tourists to the Palm Springs area, seemingly, but they are fake. They are statues, and they are at the Palm Springs Art Museum. If you are in town and want to go check out some art, I highly recommend going check out that work by Dwayne Hansen. But that's it. Let's do some shout outs and get out of here, shall we? Shout out to LA Times, Mike Shelbo, Adam.the.creator, Bernie Sanders, NBC Palm Springs, and PS Art Museum. Most importantly, shout out to you, Kindle Unlimited. Are you somebody who likes to read books? Get yourself a subscription to Kindle Unlimited, starting off with your free trial when you go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Kindle. We all know what Kindle is. It's the electronic book company where you can read unlimited books, unlimited listening, unlimited devices, unlimited stuff, unlimited potential, unlimited imagination, unlimited. Kindle Unlimited. InspiredDisorder.com/Kindle for Kindle Unlimited. Free trial of Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited. InspiredDisorder.com/Kindle Unlimited. Reading, listening, any device. Unlimited. InspiredDisorder.com/Kindle. Sign up now. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/InspiredDisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at InspiredDisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!